Hello, Bo or Bo Bizz, as people know you, right?
Yeah.
Thank
Either
you.
one. Yeah,
Yeah,
that works.
thank you for joining the podcast. I reached out to you because I see that a lot of people, one, know you. You go way back
Yeah.
in Sacramento. I
Yeah.
seen Mad Dog. You guys used to rap together.
Yeah, well, we actually kind of grew up together
Oh,
in the
okay.
South area, so we were like to like baseball days, like little kids, like at
Oh,
the baseball park, like our parents know each other, our big brothers know each other.
yeah,
I know, we're real close. We
yeah.
grew up together from way back.
Dang, that's a trip. So that's years of friendship. For a
Yeah.
second, I thought you guys were brothers.
Oh, for real?
I swear. I was like, I was trying to make the connection and I was like, wait, are they brothers? But I wasn't sure.
Yeah. He's like my big brother. He's
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he's a little older?
A little bit he is, yeah, but he's that's my boy
Yeah.
right there.
Y'all both look like some OGs.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
we rocking,
you guys don't look aged. You guys don't look aged at all.
That's because to say no to drugs. You know what I mean? I said, couldn't
Good.
do it.
Did you ever dabble in drugs at all?
I don't want to get into that really, but I seen it take people further that never came back.
Yeah.
So salute to everybody that's going through it, because you can get through it, because I seen it done.
100%.
For real, like
I
real talk.
I was addicted to methamphetamine for a minute, and I think the lowest weight that I got was 110.
Oh
And
shit. Okay.
yeah, like there's pictures that I look back at that time, and I'm just like, wow. And you know what's crazy is during that time I really thought I had it together
Oh
in
yeah.
retrospect, but that's the
Yeah.
drugs that'll do that to you.
Yeah.
So I wanted people to get to know like that other side of you, and just I know that the younger generation looks up to you because you're like considered like an OG, you know?
Well, I'm like they don't. I don't think it's like that. It's like more like I'm like the brother. Like we're all like kind of together.
I
We don't
love
ever be like
that.
OG type thing, or it's not like, oh, big homie. It's more like, we all together. We all like brothers.
Like family.
Yeah, we like family. Yeah,
That's
pretty much.
hella
Yeah,
cool.
cause like I didn't like when people would be like OG me to me. Like
Yeah.
so I don't like to do it to nobody.
That's
So
different.
yeah, so like we show each other like the same respect.
Yeah.
And that's how it pretty much goes right now.
That's good. I think that that clarification in that family kind of environment, it does a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
it
think
does.
people
It does
we
for sure.
got to feel a part of something and having that genuine love and connection in that way. So I think that's pretty cool. Getting more to know like you and how you grew up. What was your childhood like?
Man, just same like a lot of people, broken home. A lot of moving. A lot of moving around. I lived a lot of places. Like everywhere. Cause I was in South Sag. I was just everywhere. Like with my mom's, wherever she went, I just bounced around.
So, but predominantly in Sacramento.
Yeah, South Sacramento. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was it rough to move and like have that like I don't
No.
want to say instability, but
No, because like my dad, he's from like Broderick, right?
okay,
So
that's
when
West
I
Sac.
that's West Side, yeah. So when I was born, right when I was born, they moved to South Side.
Okay.
So I was able to go there and then be with family, and then like everywhere I went, it didn't bother me because I was always around like my friends or my family.
Yeah.
So even though we was going through something, but the people around me was like it was nothing, like it was just cool.
Yeah.
We was always hanging out and shit. So
And I guess the plus side of that too is you get to meet people from everywhere.
yeah, yep.
That's like cool. Like and on some networking shit, you get to meet all different walks of life everywhere. Did you
Yeah.
have any like problems? Like any kind of beef?
There's always stuff that happens, everywhere. So, I got in a lot of problems everywhere, but nothing that was too bad.
Yeah, I think that's all of our story.
Yeah, but I did go to I went to the California Youth Authority. I think that's where I grew up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think that's where I actually I think going through that actually made me who I am. Like today. So like because I didn't get to go to high school. I was in there for some years. So I learned how to shave in there. I learned how to work out. I learned all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, it was a learning experience. It was tough though, but it was just makes you stronger. Whatever. You've been through it.
Yeah.
I've been checking up on you.
Yeah.
You too. I've been checking all your stuff, and I'm like, okay, damn. And I've been hearing your story because I didn't before till the Goonie interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, so you kind of know what I'm talking about. You
Oh,
know what
yeah,
I mean?
definitely.
Like, just making it through and just keep pushing,
Yeah.
So I just keep going, you just can't stop. It's just like, got all these people around you at the start. You just keep going, but as the race goes on, everybody's not with you really.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like or I have found that that's been one of the hardest things of trying to elevate in life is like some of the people that you would have wished would be with you in that journey,
Yeah, yeah,
and they're not. It's almost bittersweet
yeah,
because it's like,
yeah. It
damn,
is.
it's almost like the cost of wanting to change your life or wanting to just grow.
Yeah,
But taking
for
us back
sure.
to California Youth Authority, can we talk about how you
Yeah,
landed there?
yeah. Well, yeah, it was like I was just getting in trouble, going to Boys Ranch and all that, doing little kid stuff, and then I had gotten in trouble, and then pretty much like, I don't want to really get into it. It's like guns and violence a little bit, so
Yeah.
I got caught up in that, and yeah, that's what sent me there. So I was over there for a few years, so I got to during my growing up,
Yeah. What ages?
I want to say I was like just about to be 16.
Oh,
So I did 3 years from then. So I missed a few birthdays and all that Christmases and stuff. But it was like it was weird. It was like it wasn't like it was bad. And now that I look back, it was bad. But at the time, it didn't seem like that.
Do you think that had to do with like being younger? You know how
Yeah,
we tend to feel invincible
yeah.
and we don't understand the gravity of things?
Well, yeah, because we were so young. Like it was like a little battlefield. Like they would let kids fight and stuff. Like the adults that are watching. So it's like just anybody. Regular people, whatever. But so it was tough for a lot of people. So you either gotta everyone in there that goes through there, no matter who you are, what race or anything, you can get tested. So
Yeah.
it's like it's kind of messed up, but at the same time, it just helps you just look at everything. I'm a good people reader. I learned how to read people really good
Yeah.
from going through there. So, like, I'll tell everybody, go where the love's at, because, like, I could feel it and I know, okay, it's good here for me.
Yeah.
But I could be somewhere and I could feel the energy and because sometimes, people talk and they say something, but they mean like two different things, so you got to be like, decipher, okay, he really means this or she really means that, so then you want to try to like stay away from that, but still be okay with it, but not just like, oh, I'll just stay away from you.
Yeah, discernment.
Yeah,
And I
for sure.
think that's a real big key to surviving in general.
Right.
Because the company you keep could get you into shit that's very bad that you can't get out of, right?
Yeah.
Or they could
save you
put you in positions to better your life.
or go through it with you,
Or go through it
like,
with
because in
you.
there I was like just whoever my boys was, and it was just us, and we was rocking, so it's
Yeah.
like it makes it easier. Like I always, I've been alone doing stuff by myself a lot too, but I'm always good with people. I'm never like try to be like a bully or nothing. I never like be disrespectful towards nobody, ever. This even when I was young, always been, straightforward and everything. So, that plays a part of everything
Yeah.
too.
And you mentioned that like it made you credit going through that experience to who you are today.
Right.
Is it the structure that it gave you? Like what did you go through in there that you feel like added to who you've become?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a good question. Certain things I can't touch on, but I would say like like being around that young when like being around in the system and like people lose their life here and there. So if you around that and it's like makes you get kind of serious, like even though you're not nothing and doing that, you're just doing your time, but like if the stuff's there, it's like that kind of made me like be like, okay, for the rest of my life I'm gonna be always on my toes. I'm always gonna look around. Not that I'm some gang member or nothing like that. No, it has just to do with survival instinct.
Yeah.
Like I could see a like predator. I could tell it helps me with my kids too. Like, you ain't going over there. You ain't going, and stuff like that. So I got that a little. I love it. But I feel like it's a gift.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think having kids actually, it kind of tripped me out when I had kids to realize how much the fucked up situations I put myself in life
Yeah.
sharpened me up in terms of how to be a mother, what to protect my kids from, how to teach them to survive, things like that. I don't know, when you think of having kids, you don't really think of that aspect of it because you don't know until you're doing it as a parent, right?
Right. And then like for me, one thing about like was one of the bad things was I thought for me to show you that I love you, or like you're my kid or someone or my friend, like I had to like show you I love you by like protecting you or doing, like going hard for you or something when your kids just want a hug, like they don't want that. They don't want, like I'll die for you. That's what you think love is when you're there, but like after you grow up, like that's not love, I mean, it's love to do it, but they just want you to be there, like hug you and all that,
Yeah,
so.
the presence of being a father.
Yeah.
Did you grow up with a dad?
Yeah, actually, I did, they were split up, but he was cool. He was working, working man, shit. He's from West Sac,
Oh yeah, you mentioned Broderick. Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Broderick.
Do you feel like learning how to love your children and they just want the presence and they want the hug, was that the kind of love you got growing up from your parents, or did you get the protective, like tougher love?
Well, now my he's like a real man, so he's like, don't be jumping nobody, don't be no little punk, don't do shit like that. Like he was a real one, you know what I mean? So, and my mom was a hustler, that's who taught me like how to make money, kind of, like my mom kept it. She kept it up, she made sure we ate all that, so it's like she go hard for us, and I seen it and I watched her and I seen how she moves and shit, and I'm like, I learned the game from my mom pretty much, like straight up.
Oh shit, moms was laced up.
Yeah, my mom's is, yeah.
Shout out moms.
Yeah.
That's hella cool.
Yeah.
So were you closer with your mom?
My bad.
No, you're good. Don't even trip.
Probably a little bit, yeah, because I'll travel with her. Like, I ain't leaving her,
Yeah.
It was me and her till the wheels fell out, so I'm with moms, and, I'm here.
I have two boys, and often I wonder, like, they're both really close to me.
Yeah.
But I see the difference. My daughters are so, not that my boys aren't strong-minded, they really are, because he's very much, like, man's man, raising them in that way. But the love is, like, I see the toughness that my daughters have, and just... like, they don't take no shit. And my boys, my boys don't take shit either, but they're so, like, to be so young and so protective of me is a trip. It literally trips me out. And I wonder if they're going to be like this forever.
Yeah, it's there when they're young. It's there when they're older. It's natural. Good. Yeah, for sure.
That's good to know. And you mentioned kids. How many do you have?
Total, like 6. I got a blended family.
Oh, you got
So, yeah, we got them. The oldest is out, though. She went to college and graduated and stuff, and she's out,
Oh, that's awesome.
Doing her thing, yeah. For sure.
Being a family man, what has that taught you?
A lot. It's taught me a lot, So, where can I start? Like, right now, there's been a lot of stuff going on. Mm-hmm. So, right now, I'm in the middle of, like, getting with my cousins, and we all getting together. We're like, let's get everybody back together, because everybody's been just living, and then the years go by like that. So we had our first little get-together a few weeks ago, and then I invited them to the house, and then a bunch of the cousins came over, and we got together. It felt good,
Yeah.
It felt real good. So we're going to try to get that going more, because even some of our kids don't know each other, and it's like when we were little, we were together. That's why we got that bond now, even if we don't see each other.
That's a trip, because I was just talking to one of my cousins about that, how... when we were little, we were all bonded. We were all close. There was always these big-ass family events. And then everybody kind of grew up and did their own thing.
Yeah.
And it's cool because all of us, I feel like if I'm really analyzing my family, the older generation, I mean, we were close because they were partying and kicking it. And their instability kind of bonded us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But then we grew up to be adults that are like, nah, we're on our shit. We got our families, we got our jobs and our husbands, our wives, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's came with like a distance with our family. And even in our family, we have cousins that are like, who's that? And I'm like, that's your cousin.
Yeah,
like a first cousin, like for real cousin.
Yeah.
It's crazy how time passes by so quickly.
Yeah, so I'm trying to pull it all together. I'm doing the best I can.
Is it going good?
It's going good because we started. I'm trying to see, do more stuff like that. It's a process, and the process begins.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen nobody for a long time, and it's just, sometimes I blame myself because I be so busy. I'm like, man, I'm running around doing this, I'm doing that, and then I just, before I know it, it's like time is like going. So that makes me want to go harder though, because you can't beat time. So it's always a race.
I think it's really good though that you're aware of it.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
because
Yeah.
now it's just a lot of people live their life just constantly chasing that success for
Yeah.
their families, that they don't even realize that, like, oh wait, hold up, I need to carve out time for
Yeah.
family. I need to, because before I know it, time's gonna pass, and that's the only shit we can't get back. I just did a podcast episode about that, but as an adult, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it is kind of hard, especially when you got so many like ventures and passions, and you're not at the level that you see yourself, so you're grinding to get there. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's been a struggle for me, even with like the podcasting and the kids. Luckily, he goes to work and he works full days, and like I'm able to do this on the
Yeah,
side, you
yeah,
know.
that's cool.
But I have had to, like, okay, I gotta really sit and reevaluate my week and
Yeah.
really structure it around the kids,
Yep.
and that's the hardest part.
Yeah, it is. It's tough.
So being a dad, that's a tough job. You've got a
Yeah.
blended family. I come from a blended family too.
Okay.
And I definitely know the struggles
Yeah,
of a
for
blended
sure.
family. Like,
For sure.
everybody really got to be on the same page, or shit does not go good.
We've been together for a while, so you working it out.
There
so,
you go.
Yeah.
You learn as you go. I think with time it gets better. So I
Yeah.
definitely know how hard it is. But what is the number one thing that fatherhood has taught you?
Don't never leave your kids. Don't leave them.
Leave your
Stay
kids
there.
in what sense?
Like I lost my pops, to like a murder suicide.
Oh my goodness.
So it's like I would never want to do that. So
Yeah.
like, don't ever leave your kids. Like, it's like messed up. So
Yeah.
I said, stay with them, work everything out, as much as you can. Shit been up and down. You know what I mean, forever. So, it's not easy. But as long as you're there for them, provide for them, and try to give them the best life we could. But at the end of the day, when they're growing up and have to make choices, so try to set that example for them. See you doing something and working towards something. Because I've been telling, like, my kids are little too. I'm like, just chase your dreams too. Like, I don't want you just to clock out at that time clock. I just want you to try to do what you want to do. So I'm like, yeah, as you guys are growing up, like, you got a spot, I got a stable, I got a cool house on, a little acreage and stuff. So like, I'm out the way, outside the city limits. I don't got no neighbors, So like, I got a spot for them, and they're safe there. And then like me and my girl were telling them, like, my fiance, we're telling them, like, you got, either when you get old enough and out of school, I'm not pushing college, like that. When my oldest did graduate, but that's not something I'm like pushing,
Yeah.
Because I feel like they can get into some trades or something and make just as much money without the debt,
Yes,
And then,
I agree.
But my oldest did go through, and it's working good for her. But there's certain things work and certain things don't work.
I think it just depends, like, the career. Like, obviously medical field, you're gonna need schooling. So I think that depending on the avenue of what it is, in terms of college, it makes sense to go to college.
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
with you with that. Like, trade school is where it's at. And I always advocate for that, because we're always going to need people. We're always going to need blue collar people.
They got some good programs for like electricians, and they're starting at big money, and they don't owe nobody nothing except union dues or something.
Yeah.
Like, I got some buddies make some good money. Do that right there.
Oh yeah, or welding.
Or welding.
I know
for
someone
sure.
who's a young buck. He's probably like 22, maybe. Damn, how old is he? He's young, and he's making like 90 something an hour.
Yeah. That's what I'm
doing
talking
welding
about.
in the Bay. And I'm like, and he was like, all my college friends are in hella debt.
Making
and
like 35 or 30 or something.
Yeah, and it really put into perspective, like, wow, there's all these other avenues, but I don't know, I feel like today's society, they be trying to deter people from the actual things that could get you ahead.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing with the music. Like, I've been around a long time, so like you say with Mad Dog, so like me and Mad Dog, like, everybody heard of Woody, like, everybody knows about Woody. Like, we got to work with him a lot, and we got to spend a lot of time with him, because he used to come out here with us a lot, and stay at my boy's spot. And so we were real close, and that's how far back we go for the music.
Yeah.
But like, when we were doing that, and it was like before Tone dropped his first album is when we met him. When we met Tone, so we already knew Woody. But like, so that's what made me want to do this again a few years ago, like, because I did it before, but it was like, Mad Dog went down for a murder case, then the other two people, like, I got a case, and then my other boy got a case, so everyone doing the music got in trouble. Damn. We was gonna blow up. We had just dropped well, I learned the game from my boy. He did Northern Warriors, and I was around him during the making of it, and so
Yeah.
I watched how he moved. He didn't sit there and tell me like, "Hey, do this, do that." Nah, I was just hanging out. We were just kicking it, and I just watched, and I was like, I could do this because he had a lot of respect, though. That's one thing,
Mm-hmm.
you got to have a lot of respect to move the way we got to move. But he had it together, and I watched it, and then I was like, man, that's pretty dope. And that's when I started getting into it a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Is
then
it hard to learn like the industry, the music industry, and how to make like money off of it?
yeah, because it changed on us. So when we did it, there was CDs were popping
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So like we went to like the first concert Woody had. We rolled up there with them in Gilroy. Big Tom was there. It was a good night. We were able to sell CDs, and we're pressing up. It was like $1 a CD or something like that back then. So we get like 1,000 CDs, and we're try selling for 10. So it's a
Yeah.
good little hustle, and we were everywhere though. We're going everywhere, but we were moving, and we was really living what we was talking about, and
Yeah.
then and that's what everything kind of went
Yeah.
bad for us, because we was
Yeah.
right there, and then by that time, it's like after all the smoke settles and everything's gone, I just look back in the game like, man, need something, like
Yeah.
I gotta get something. I was like, man, I think I'm gonna get something going. I used that, like all my connections and shit. But the game did change, and I did have to learn distribution. And one person that really helped me though was Shimo from
Oh
Shimo
yeah.
Media. Yeah, he when I first started, because he actually was in the South with us for a while. He knows Mad Dog, and we know some of his family members and stuff. So like he has that little connection with us. Like
That's
like he
cool.
was in the South. He's not really from there like that, but he was there, and he played the baseball and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember I hit him up a few times. He always give me game, and then I'm working with him again right now. So we're it's coming full circle now.
Yeah.
I think we're what the game needed.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
I agree. So it's the Jaccin for Life, right?
yeah, Jaccin for Life
And
Records. Yeah.
that is when you decided to come back into the game. Is this a new label,
Nah,
or is this from back in the day? And
nah,
you're
this
like,
from
now we
back in
gotta
the day, cause
revive this.
yeah, cause I actually went to cause I went to jail for some bank robberies, right?
Yeah.
But I really so like I had to go in there and I had to do that little time, and I went to trial, like whoever, that Gotti or somebody, like gotta
Yeah.
do stuff. So like going through that, I was like, man, they think I'm jacking shit, whatever. I was like, Jackin for Life. I was like, that sound like a good name for a record company, I was like, no, I'll just use that name. And we kind of talked about it. We're like, all right, we'll use that, But I was going through that, and then and it was tough, So all that was going on, and I was trying to do all this, and then it just became I went to trial, and I got a hung jury, So then they were like, well, we're not gonna. They could retry you, but
Yeah.
they're not right now. But they have like 10 years or something to retry you
The
or
statute of
something.
limitation.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was. My brother was there with me the whole time. Like I was waiting for the verdict. I was just a lot going on. I was like, well, if this works out and I get a chance, then I gotta do something. Like
Yeah.
I gotta figure something out because even though I didn't do it or whatever, I feel like it was just everything going around just caught up to
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
like it just caught up to me, and it was pretty tough, it's hard to wait because your life's in someone's hands. You're like, am I gone forever, or am I gonna be here,
Yeah.
so it's like going through that too makes me like who I am today
It,
also.
it put a lot of things into perspective in terms of the decisions that you make from here on out, because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
essentially you had a second shot, right?
Right, couple
Because
times. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
and utilizing those chances, right? And being aware of like, okay, something's got to change. I got to
Right.
have a plan, because
And that's what made me get like with all the younger people around me, like in my area, because I was like, man, if I could get with them, I know the game, who better to tell the story than someone that's on the front line, So I'm like,
yeah,
that's why I was like, man, maybe I could make something happen and help everybody,
yeah,
And it actually did work because now I got like, we're going up, we're doing it, I know Seven Letter Sav and Shadow, and then there's so many homies like I work with and stuff, but we running up our little checks and stuff, and we're just growing, and then we was just at No Jumper like we were talking about earlier. for the Lazy Boy interview. That was a few days ago.
Yeah,
So,
I've been trying to keep up with all the artists that I see that you guys put out, and I'm like, man, okay, this one and this one needs to get on the podcast, and just because my biggest thing is to showcase Northern Cali.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I said it before, people have heard me say it. Southern California has what? They got No Jumper, they got Indicted TV, they got all these big ass, podcast platforms. And we've got so much talent here in Northern Cali, and we have so much unity here too, like with what you're doing, bringing all the younger people together, helping put people on.
Yeah.
Just we network. It's not platformed.
Yep.
Structuredly the way they do it in SoCal.
Right.
And I'm like, we gotta.
So what I'm
we
doing.
Gotta do it.
So that's why right now, like this young kid, X out, he just did like 32 months in the juvenile system. And he's been home like 2 months right now.
He's the one that like sings, right?
Yeah.
I liked him.
He's special. Yeah. Like so we linked up because I know his Uncle Ray. His Uncle Ray called me. Shout out to him, man. It's a homie. But we ended up linking up and I was like, yeah, I heard it. I heard his little clip. He did a little singing, and that shit went up. It got like a couple 100,000 views. I was like, man, that's dope. And we decided to like work together. So so it's only been a few weeks, and we just hit the gas, and then we got like, I want to say we got 8 songs done. I took them. We went to the best studios. We went to the best we were right here at Q's, Q made the beat. We hit him up. We hit Vidal up. We had Sac G mixing stuff for us. Like we went to I took him to all the best ones.
Yeah.
And then we've already filmed 5 videos, and once the Shimo Media performance, and we did all that, and we already got cover done for his drop. We got all the promotion stuff ready, and then I was like ready to drop. Like we ready to drop, and I was like, you know what? This is bigger than me. That's how big his talent is, Yeah. So I had to call on a big dog. I hit up Shimo, I was like, hey man, and then Shimo was like, it's good. He already had talked to the ex too, so we kind of collab with Shimo right now to take us further, because I could take him somewhere, but I know that us teaming up with Shimo will go further for sure. Yeah. And he puts people in position to win. Because I've seen him blow multiple people up. Like I've seen him blow labels up. I've seen him blow like weed labels, like stuff up, and artists, and and then it was the best move, and we're all with it. So we might get our first video drop maybe Friday, but we're going to talk about it.
Dang, so you been working.
Yeah, we did 5 videos. We filmed 5 videos, and everyone was dope. Like we got to this little place out there by Vallejo. It's like a jail cell scene. We rented that out and did that, and then we did one in Old Sac where we had the whole this whole spot through Seuss Films. He hooked it up, and he had got a whole venue to ourselves, and we filmed one in there. And we just been working. We've been filming some good ones.
There's so much behind the scenes that goes into really platforming an artist, huh? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, and then so people already know who he is. He's recognized everywhere we go, and he hasn't even dropped nothing yet.
Yeah.
He was with me at No Jumper too. So
I think it's goes to show that the team that you guys are for him, you guys are doing something right.
You know what? Because my boy we was with my boy the other day. We were all talking. He was like, he let us know, like, man, when he got in the industry, we're talking about like Rico. Everybody knows Rico. That's my homie. And he's like when he got in the game, he didn't have really no one there, like that. But he told X, he's like, yeah, you run some real ones, so you gonna be all right, like. But X fits right in because he's from the South area. Yeah. He knew JoJo. Rest in peace, top ranked JoJo. That's my boy right there. I got to put out his album. Semis. He knew him. They went to school together. So, he's like at home with us. He knows we got him and everything. So he's not just like me linking up with. He's actually, he's in there.
Yeah.
So
that's
he's with us. Yeah, for real.
That's cool. That's cool to be around people that you could trust in that sense.
Yeah,
and for other people, like
for
you to have that rapport with other people, like for Rico to tell him you're in good hands.
Yeah.
That says a lot about you and your team.
Yeah, sure.
That's cool because I've heard so many crazy ass stories even just the podcasting, even the networking, that was like my biggest hurdle. I was like, first of all, I don't be trusting nobody. Like I'm about to be networking with people. But like you mentioned earlier at the beginning of the podcast, discernment, right? Yep. You get this heightened sense of awareness with people if they're legit, if they're for you, if they're looking for a come up, if you
Yeah,
know.
for sure.
And even for you to just sit here and say like you were like, okay, I know how far I could get him, but I'm gonna need, you know, to recruit Shimo, right? That's how you say it?
Yeah, pretty much.
To help me with that. Like that is some real humble, solid shit right there.
Yeah.
Like that's really respectable. Because I feel like not too many people would want to. They think they could just wear all the hats.
Well, cause I have a platform. Like I got a YouTube channel. We at like 13K or maybe 14 subscribers. You know, like 1,000 whatever. So I'm dropping shit. It's running up. You know, we got millions of views on there. You know, but I still felt like if I couldn't do him like that, cause I like, even though some people be like, oh, you know, they just be all like, it's my platform, because I know I could drop all those 5 on my platform right now.
Yeah.
You know, like it's nothing, but yeah, I feel like he wouldn't get the exposure that he can get if we teamed up with Shima.
And you see the bigger vision.
Yeah,
You
Plus
see how far he could go.
Right. No, he's hasn't been. We haven't seen this before, and everybody knows it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if everybody could get behind it, he'll even go further. But the ones that matter know.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why it's like I see it and it's there, and I believe in him, and then so does everybody else. You just got, as soon as they hear him, or you know, you see a video or something, you'll know. You heard him, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I heard him and I was like, oh shit, this is different. I was like, okay, and I like that. I mean, I don't know, maybe because like I'm a girl, and you know, you just like that vibey shit, but it's still hard. You know what I mean? Like it's cool.
Yeah.
That's hella cool. And you know what? Not too many people could pull off that style.
No,
Like,
not out here. Everybody sounds, you know, the same kind of, like they got the same little, you know, get down, or there's a few that stand out though, and then, you know, it works. But, you know, with him, it's just he's talking about the same type, but it's different.
It's different.
You know?
Yeah, it's a different approach. That's hella cool. Being able to recognize a talent like that.
Yeah, I know,
that's
right?
cool.
He's from, you know, from the South area of Sac too, you know.
And
so
it
it's
makes
like,
it all the better.
it makes it all
right
better. Like he's right at home. Yeah, he's one of the fellas, you know.
Yeah. So in terms of
he
like,
has something to come home to.
yes,
you know?
home base right there.
Yeah.
Are you guys always looking for new talent then? Like, or how does that work? Like, do you guys just keep your ears to the streets and like, okay, who's coming up? And,
it gets tricky. So what I really was like, you got to blow up where you're from first. You know, like I had to put on for, you know, the area that I grew up in, like first. That was my first thing. Because if I felt like if I don't put on where I'm from first, and I'm from like a real neighborhood, like I ain't gonna say it, everybody knows, but I'm like, you know, it's different, you know, than somewhere that's not, you know, as, you know, I don't know how to say it like in a good way.
You guys are stamped.
Yeah,
right? You guys are stamped.
Yeah, it's like that place is you know, there's gorillas out there, so it's like, you know, it's like over there. I want to just make sure I got home first, you know, and then, you know, and the X is right there from the same area right there, so you know that's good. And then now I could expand, but right now we're focusing on like, you know, getting him up and going, and I'm still working with everybody. I don't sign nobody. That's one thing I don't do. So like a lot of people like, oh, you sign him? I'm like, no, but they're gonna leave you. They're gonna get a dip. Da, da, da. I'm like, okay, I understand why people feel like that and think like that, and you know, but when you like reading, like goes down to that too, like, you know, we could all bust moves and we could all eat without anybody being signed, because the new way they do it is like distribution. It cuts everybody their own checks. Like it used to be the game where the guy like me get the check and give everybody some, and then people getting cheated. And that was my main pitch when I went to, like, because it was a big thing. Like when we started, I went and got with, you know, my boys and you know, and then we, you know, hit up Sav and stuff, and like, because he was starting and he already had one video, and like, you want to do this? He's with it. So like, you know, it takes a lot of networking before I even pull the trigger on anything. I had like cover everything, you know, like I had to cover, but the distribution splits it, man. That's my pitch. I was like, we run up these checks, and and the distribution splits it. And the first thing I tell everybody is like, you don't owe me shit. You know, I do what I do because that's what I do, and I don't want anybody to ever feel, you know, like just because I did all this, like you owe me. It's like, nah, I do shit because I want to. You know, like I don't feel like some people are in the industry are like that, you know, or they'll be like, who's not signing on dips? Like, nah, we brothers.
Yeah.
You know, it's different.
That's a really different approach. I mean, I don't know much about the music game. Like, I really don't.
Yeah.
But I feel like every story that I've heard about like record labels and shit, it's scary.
Yeah, it
you
is.
know, or I always hear like, you'll hear artists that are like, yeah, so and so tried to sign me, but hell no, I'm gonna stay independent. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is up with record labels? Like,
I tell my
what's going
homies,
on?
yeah, I be like, man, don't sign nothing unless they giving you a bag. Because if they ain't giving you a bag, then what really can they do for you? You know,
Yeah.
like that's what I recommend. But they could do whatever they want. But I recommend get that bag, you know,
Yeah, and then
before anything.
I follow some other rappers and like they'll post about even down to like who makes the beats and like percentages, like depending on if the song blows or doesn't blow. And it really hit me like you got to be real versed on the business side
Yeah.
of this whole game
Yep.
to generate income because you're putting in hella work, right? But then your
Right.
artist also has to eat. Everyone has to eat. So your approach seems very different, but very authentic.
Yeah, it's different.
In
And we running up checks. Like we're getting paid. It's not like, well, I mean, we're not like, we ain't like balling off it, like, you know, and all
Yeah.
that. But I mean, it does, you know, it does work for our families.
yeah,
You know?
were you advised against that approach
About what approach?
about not doing it? I guess the more traditional way that like signing people and whatnot.
It's just something I just thought of and
Yeah.
just came up with, and you know, so I don't. And what my main reason, I've been through so much, is like I don't want to sign somebody and then have their career in my hands and I can't move for them.
Yeah.
Or say you sign 4 people, right? One person starts doing really great, so you know every time you put in that person, you get paid. These other 3, you are building them and they're making no money, so everything you put in is a loss. So then who gets put on the back burner? You know,
Yeah.
so it's like, nah, I'm not trying to do that. So we could all work together, and everyone I work with works with other people, and they get, because if you think about it, if you're an artist, you don't even need a platform anymore. Like you don't have to have a YouTube channel, because like game that nobody really says, you know, that I get, I ain't tripping. I said it's just like they cut percentages. You go work over here with somebody, and man, what we gonna do? All right, and give me 20%. You know, whatever you guys agree on, everything's always fair, and everybody just wants to work, so that's nothing. You know, it's not even an issue. So say you go, like say I work with like 5 different artists. You
Yeah.
know, say this is one thing I was thinking of when I started, because I worked with Babyface Wood. I brought him to Sacramento. People don't know that too. Like so, like say I work with 5 different people. So say I'm 50-50 with all you guys. So we 50-50, we 50-50. Then I'm 250 at the end. You know, or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I'll work with everybody.
Yeah.
And everybody get paid. Why
Yeah.
not? You know, and then everybody. But it was a hard struggle, because when I started, nobody would listen. It was all, every dollar I was putting in, I knew I wasn't going to get back right away. So I'm talking about 300 views in a week on a video, you know, all the way like for a long time. You know, nobody tuning in, nobody like, you know, until we just worked and worked. I think it was me and Full Effects Film. Shout out to Tori. He knows the count. I kind of want to call him, but
Go
but
ahead, you
I
can
want to
if you
say, I want to say he probably did over 40 videos for me. And if he probably see this and type it in the thing, but that's how we had to hit him. We were dropping like 5 a month. You know, like yeah, we were going hard and just working and working and working. So the position we got to, it was through hard work. And then, you know, and it's hard for an artist because they have to work. They got to,
Yeah.
it's not easy to, come on, to perform a video.
Yeah.
You know, it's performing.
You got to be entertaining.
Yeah, you got to know how to write. You got to be there, and you got to know for all this couple years of all this work, you're not getting paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if you're coming
Okay.
up together, because we're coming up together over here.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. So you don't have to answer, but out of curiosity, to put a number on how much you've invested before you saw a return, what do you think that was? If you don't mind answering that. And maybe not even just you, but like everybody who you pitched the idea to, and y'all are all working towards the same goal.
It took a while. How much? I can't even put a number on it. You know, really, I don't know. It was like nothing astronomical, but that's a good question. I'd have to sit down and really, because if you just add up 40 videos times like 400 or 500, you know, just and you're not, and then you're not talking about if you're renting out spots to do it, or if you're, you know, you gotta pay studio time, you gotta pay mixing, you gotta pay mastering, you gotta pay covers, you know, you gotta promote. So it's a lot more than just you know, it's a lot of moving numbers around and stuff behind, you know, the scenes. And me not being a cameraman, I had to pay somebody.
Yeah.
So, you know, but Tori worked with me, and we did a lot, and like, he worked with Eric, he worked with JoJo, he worked with Sav, he worked with Wood, and it seems like all our big ones that blew up are the ones that we just did on the day of like that. Like our biggest one we did was Toke Up with it was after JoJo had passed. It was Sav and Wood, and we weren't even planning on it, and they were like, oh, they had already did the song, and then they're like, man, you want to film today? And I just hit up Tori, and and I was like, man, can you do it? Short notice, this and that, and then he loved JoJo too because he worked with him. He was like, yeah, I got you guys, and then we made it happen. So that one went up because it's at like 2 point something million just on YouTube, the video. And it's got like over 300K just from YouTube Topic, and then plus it does a lot on the streaming, all the services, like even SoundCloud, all that.
That's hella cool. I find that the best things always end up happening spontaneously like that. Like the ones that you don't expect to blow, or like, okay, we doing this spontaneously, always end up being the ones that like take off.
It is. It's a trip because that's what I was telling Young X. Because one night we came and we went and we filmed one. And then we were working with Cinco too. Cinco, that's my boy too. So we were with Cinco, and then he had did a video, and then we were going to Cinco's studio after Q's, just on we just called him up like, hey, what's up? Get us in. He like, come through. And then my cameraman, Reality Music, that's my boy. We've been working with him a lot too. He was with us, and he had just filmed one, so he was done. He lives in the Bay, and I was like, hey, he stayed to do another one. He was like, I'm with it. So he went with us. We went to Cinco's studio. They got on, they did something, or Sav and them did something and filmed the video. Everything is just like that. So that's one of the ones we got stacked up. We got a Babyface Wood coming, one still video from Full Effects Films. Yeah. He just been busy because he's been going up with, he's been doing his thing, but he said he got us. So.
Yeah. So networking has to be like a crucial part of all this.
Can't be a kid. You can't work with feelings. It's like you got to understand. You got to know who's like this with their business. Because if you're not like this, I'm not messing with you. Like if I got to move, I need this. You're going to tell me a date. I expect it. But I'm going to pay you. You're going to get your money, but I need to get mine. And then whoever could hang with me and do all that, and I'd work with them.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of it's about traction.
Yep.
You got to keep the motion going in anything, in any kind of any kind of avenue you're trying to take. Anything, podcasting, music, the artists.
That's why I went to No Jumper on Saturday because Sav had got invited by the San Jose guy. He was like, you want to go? I was like, yeah, I'll go. And then we did a few posts and they went crazy, And we're just waiting for the interview to drop. So it's like, it just helps, everything helps go up. You got to show up,
Yeah, and No Jumper's a big one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm humbled that you are here. I know I'm going to take this up.
I wasn't interviewing, but I'll be like,
no, but even still, to be able to even be like, we win, we represented.
Yeah, we win, represented,
that's cool in itself,
Yeah.
And to me, in Sacramento, just based on, I lurked through your following. I mean, I lurked through all your shit.
Okay.
I've been
that's what it's there for.
Oh shit, we know people.
Yeah.
But just seeing all the people that I know of that know you, and just the kind of connections I'm finding. Okay, I'm starting to get to know. I know a few people, but I'm starting to really oh shit, okay, so everybody knows everybody, and it's all coming together, and I'm like, okay, this is cool, and it gives me high hopes because I'm like, hell yeah, everyone's coming together, everyone's doing the collabs, we're all kind of talking, faces are getting recognized. Oh my bad, it's my kids cleaning alarm.
That's a good one.
It has to be structured because then they won't. Yeah. But it's it's cool to see the way I'm like, okay, it's coming together. Yeah. I think I don't know. I just have this feeling that we're coming up in this area.
We are.
We're coming up. I feel it.
That's why that was a big move, just to show up down there, show our presence, and just let them know we're here. In the music, our music, a lot of people have good music. It's just not getting heard. It's kind of slept on. But doing things like that, that's the whole mindset of going. It's at least, okay, let's put it out there so when they hear it, they could catch it. It's it works. So hopefully we go back. We're looking forward to going back.
We will. But y'all will. But for Sacramento, NorCal, we will.
We'll be back. NorCal, Sacramento, everybody, babe, we'll be back. It was it was cool down there. A lot of hospitality. They opened the doors for us, and just all respect, and and that's it. And, you know, we went over there and then he did the interview. He's gonna go up off it. You know, I was there to support him. I'm just glad to see someone from Northern Cali get a spotlight like that. You know, and then, you know, it's really gonna go up too, and it's really helping everybody already. And it's only been a few days, and just by showing up there, it's helping a lot of people out.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
For real.
Well, before we wrap up, is there anything that you learned out of life that you feel could give back to everybody listening?
Man, so much.
What's the number one thing that comes to your mind?
Mm-hmm. Just go for it. I'm gonna tell you one like real quick. So before I really actually put my foot to the pedal, I was you know, because I know Big Tone.
Yeah.
So I was watching one of his posts. It was a few years back, probably like 3.5 years or something. And Big Tone was like, "Man, if you're working and you're not working on your goals after work, what are you doing?" And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? He's right. You know. So I would tell anybody, just whatever you're doing, just go for it. Just go all in, and if you know, if someone don't believe you, you know, and just do what you got to do when you got to do it. But a lot of blowing up, and people don't realize is like kind of relationship you in too, because that can hold you back, you know. So you gotta, if you're gonna go for it, you know, you gotta go for it, and just have a partner that's gonna be willing to go through it with you.
Yep, and support you.
You know, support you, because if you don't get support from your partner, it's not gonna be easy to make it.
Yeah, yes.
You know, so my partner is supportive, so you know she's with it, so you know it makes it be able for me not to have to worry like about that stuff. You know, like the house is cool, you know, my relationship's good. Like she knows what I'm doing, and I gotta do what I gotta do when I gotta do it. So I say go for it, and that's it. Yeah, go for it.
So find a writer,
right,
that understands the vision.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Well, Bo, thank you so much for joining. I'm so glad that I was able to have this conversation with you and learn more about the music industry and just behind the scenes. I'm going to add you to my prayers and really pray that your record label and everything that you're doing for all the artists that you're doing it for and for yourself really continues to blow up. I have high hopes for all of us here in Sacramento. And just thank you for coming out and taking the time. It's
thank
been
you
great
for
to
having me too. And you're going up too. We all going up together.
Amen.
You know.
100%.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, till next time.
Till next time, yeah.